Yes, recording is on now. So one of you have to pick up the mic. I'm introducing one of y'all first. Whoever. Chelsey, you can go first.
You got a chance. I'm gonna go first. Yeah,
it's
okay,
fine.
Perfect.
Don't worry. Once you get the flow of things, and then it starts getting easier and easier.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to what was previously known as Johnny Reviews is the Slice of Life podcast. And you know the deal, guys. We're going to be slicing up lives. And on the other side of the table, we got two amazing guests. We have Chelsey and we have Terah. How are y'all doing, guys?
We're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to start with you, Chelsey. How is 2020 for you? Like, how everything that's going on, how is Chelsey in 2020?
Well, in the beginning, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I moved down to Florida, and then recently it's been a downward spiral. But like I said, there are definitely positive aspects of my life right now going.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. It's just overall right now, I'm just trying to live life to the fullest and do whatever I can. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm just going to go with that mindset for right now.
Dude, that's a healthy mindset, so I can totally understand. I'm going to pass it to Terah just so we can introduce her real quick just to see. Terah, how are you doing in 2020?
I'm good,
Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah.
Like she said, current status is a downward spiral. In the beginning, it was really well.
Yeah.
I got part-time with Disney after my college program, so super excited about that. Got a job I really loved. She moved down here because we're roommates. We live together. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, time off, quarantine, let's go. Like, this will be a fun little time just to take some time to myself, stay at home. And then it was like, 6 months passed, and I'm like, okay, haha.
Well, first of all, guys, thank you guys for being here. I loved having new guests, and y'all are awesome for bringing me coffee. I really appreciate it. And two, we'll start with you, Terah. What got you to Disney? Like we're all in this together. I hate fucking saying it like that, fucking shit. But what got you to Disney? Like what inspired you? Did you do the DCP? When did you start all of that?
Yeah, so essentially it started when I was a sophomore in high school because that's when I found out about the college program.
Yeah.
And then ever since then I was obsessed with it, and I was like, I have to do it. So I applied and I got in my first time. I applied my sophomore year of college and then did it fall advantage 2018.
Yeah.
So I did that from June to January, and then when my program ended, I went back home and I was like, yo, this sucks.
You didn't like it?
I went back home and I was like, I need to go back to Disney.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Okay. When you went back home, it
correct.
Sucked.
Yeah, I was
okay,
like, I can't do
sense.
this
that
anymore. So then I applied for another college program.
Right.
2 days before the thing ended, got waitlisted, and then accepted a week later, and so I moved back to Florida, and I've just been here ever since, and that was May 2019.
And you don't regret it one bit?
Oh, not at all.
No.
Never leaving Florida,
Dude,
that is.
No, everybody gives me a different perspective, of when they started, how they started, and you're not wrong. I feel like now more than ever, I think everybody is just trying to hold on to the golden years and stuff like that. So I can totally understand. Chelsey, let's go with you.
So I didn't find out about the college program until my what was it? Junior year of college.
Yeah.
And so I applied for the when was it? I think it was the fall of that year, and I got the phone interview, and then I didn't get in. And then I applied after that, and I was supposed to do it spring of 2018.
Yeah.
But that was my last year of college. It was a very difficult time trying to see if I should do it or not. I was literally crying.
Y'all didn't meet in the DCP, did y'all? Y'all were just
No. Because I did my first one fall of 2018 at WAD, at World of Disney. And so I did that after I graduated college because I didn't want to leave my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to not graduate with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I extended my program into the spring of 2019.
Right.
And then I got seasonal. Same location, World of Disney. So, like she said, after leaving in May for my college program and going home, it fucking sucks. The Disney depression is real.
Even if you just go for 2 weeks, you feel like you
literally because a lot of my friends were still down here for the college program because they stayed until July.
Yeah.
So just seeing them posting, doing all this stuff, I was like, this blows.
Fuck.
Because, I love my family, don't get me wrong, but being at home, just sitting at home, doing nothing, I would go to the pool, I would work out, and I was like, what am I going to do? My parents kept asking me, what are you doing today? I'm like, Mom, I don't know. I don't have anything to do. what do you want me to do? I can't get a job. Like, I'm going to go back because I did come back in July for my seasonal hours. And that's when I met Terah. We met in September. And
so this was recent. Like, I thought you were like best friends for a long
we met
time.
September of 2019. And it was actually quite funny because we talked about Haunted Mansion and all that because that's how we became so close. Yeah, it's fine. We're just going to cry over here.
Old violin just right here, just fucking right here.
Yeah. But
So let's start. What do you think about like everything going on with like them laying off and everything like that? It's hard. We're gonna get through the hard shit first.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It's I don't think it's right.
Right.
But I understand why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. I think the way they did it, they could have done it better.
I feel like Terah disagrees, but I want to let you finish.
I just feel like they could have done it better because I don't know. It's obviously going to be in the media because Disney's always going to be in the media.
True.
So I feel like not like laying off everybody all at once is kind of like a slap in the face, especially getting an email about it and not getting a call. Because I know in the beginning they were calling people, like HR was calling them and, you know, doing all that stuff. But like I recently received the email and I was like, fuck, like this is real. Because I knew it was going to come, but like getting the email, I was like,
dude, they're dragging it on, and that's one of
that's
the worst
why like
fucking things.
I'm glad I went ahead and got the email,
right.
Because a lot of people they haven't,
mm-hmm.
and it's just that's not. I don't. It's just like a slap in the
Dude,
face.
100%. Were you seasonal also, or were you part time?
I was part time.
You were part time, so you're still waiting too.
I have not received the email. I've seen my name on a list though, so I know it's coming.
How do you know? What?
Because the unions posted a list of people who were getting let go.
When did they post that?
This past week, two different unions posted it.
Have to look at that because I don't even know.
Which
it was the food and beverage.
Food and beverage did one.
I saw that one, but I didn't
and then there was another one.
Yeah, I don't remember the other one. Oh, the other one. No, I don't remember what it was.
But that goes into me being kind of upset about the situation even more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in your boat right now, so I 100% like that. The idea of like they've already put a date, like November 1st, of when they're gonna like let us know. Supposedly, and then you're just like, come on, just.
I'd rather just know now.
Exactly.
I mean, I do know, but like make it official.
Yeah.
And to stem off of when she said she got the email.
Yeah.
It was very just a cold email. Like it said, "Dear valued employee." Like I don't know about you, but like, not to like sound like a child, but like we're cast members. Like. You know, I don't know.
Like since I've only been here like 2 years, like I've only been here 2 years, so like it's not like I wouldn't say it's a big deal because obviously it still affects me. But people that have been with the company for 30 plus years,
like
and they're getting an email, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I never understood the difference between like a seasonal and a part-time worker. To be honest, like I don't.
Well, seasonal, you only have to complete 150 hours in a given year. So when I came down like last year in July, like I was only supposed to do 150 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I did over 350 because I was down here. I didn't know when I was going to come back. I wanted to work. So people thought I was full time for the amount of hours I was getting a week. But I was like, I love this job. I want to do my best. Like, I love working with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's obviously going to be hard when I walk into the store again and see everybody because that's like my family. They're my second family.
100%.
And it just sucks.
It fucking blows. Like you can say it, like it's just like a fucking stab in the fucking
I'm trying
heart.
to remain positive, but it's just like
Thanks, man.
I guess it's okay.
No, yeah, true. And this is why I asked, is just because everybody, this is so fresh, like really everybody kind of talks about it and the gist of it, but it's like when it comes to like cast members, I feel like everyone has a different story of like when they started, how they started, and it's just like they're not even taking that into consideration, and it's just like makes you think like Disney's also a company, so I can try to kind of like make it make sense, but yeah, like it will affect more people yet to come, I feel like.
Oh yeah, it definitely will affect more. I believe it will.
I don't want to be like
I'm not gonna say like but I would assume that depending on how well they're gonna be doing over the next, I guess you could say, year, especially with the 50th coming up next year, it's gonna be. I don't know, because that's the thing is like if they're not gonna need that many cast members.
No.
I mean, it is getting busier because it's, busy season.
You know what I don't understand though is like all of these different projects that they have going on, and then they're getting all of these like higher up people, and they're paying them full wages and shit, and it's just
yeah,
I don't understand.
The execs did forego their pay earlier this year, but then I would say was like a month ago they got them back with bonuses, which I mean that's gonna happen.
True.
But I don't know, it's gonna be a whirlwind, but trying to remain positive.
Let's go with it. I already asked Tara, like, what inspired you to do the DCP? Was it just like,
I don't know. Funny thing is, like, I used to like hate coming to Disney.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
I know that's like really weird to say because now I'm like obsessed with it. But I think it was like 8 years ago with my friends, and they're like Disney freaks. Like, park open, park closed. We were literally the last people to leave Magic Kingdom. They were kicking us out of the park.
I don't think I could ever do that.
And so after that day, I was like, I don't want to fucking come here again. This is too much for me. Like, I can't do it. And then I applied, and I was just like, I'll just do it and see how it goes. Like, I heard great things about the college program. And then I did it, and I didn't want to leave. I fell in love. Because, like I said, they're my second family, and just getting to know people from all different kinds of parts of the world, it's just incredible. And they do care about their cast members. They do.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see so many people getting laid off and their stories and all of that. So it's been an emotional, like, I guess you could say, like, what, 2 weeks, ever how long? I mean, it's been an emotional year.
Dude, it's been an emotional fucking year.
But, I mean, yeah, I love the company and I love Disney. It's just going to be different from here on out, I think so.
So, Tara, what are you going to do now? Like, what's your plan? Like, where are you going to school? You doing anything?
Funny you bring that up. Disney was paying for my schooling.
Oh, are they going to stop?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be a cast member, so they're not going to pay for it anymore.
I don't know the gist of all that stuff. So
I do the Disney Aspire program, and they are paying through the rest of this semester, but I'm not supposed to be finished with my program until November of 2021, so I just have to figure it out on my own, I guess. The main reason I was even going back to school at this point in time
they were paying for it.
Was because Disney was paying for it, so not really sure.
Yeah.
I would like to just get it done and over with so I can get my degree, but...
What are you going for?
Hospitality management. Not really helpful right now in the current state. But other than the whole school thing, looking for jobs in the area because, like I said, I don't want to leave Florida. And our lease is through March anyways, so I'm definitely going to be down here until at least then.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't...
What are you passionate about?
Disney. I mean, I don't know. Now it's just, like, kind of like a sore subject. You know?
Yeah, well, kind of, I guess.
It's
but
like,
before Disney, like, what did you like doing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
I don't remember a time without Disney.
We don't... I mean, realistically, in, like, a day in our life, it's, like, wake up, talk to each other. Do you want to watch a scary movie?
What are you talking about, like right now in quarantine, this is how your days go?
No, I just mean, like normal. Be like, if on a normal day, we'd be, like, working, but obviously not now. But, like, we literally, like, hey, you want to watch a movie? Okay. Hey, do you want to go to a park? Okay. Hey, do you want to drink some wine? Like, okay. Like, that's just about it at this point.
When I left last year, we talked, like, every day.
Yeah.
It was, like, hours upon hours just talking. So...
Yeah, like, our friendship we were literally friends long distance than we were, like, in person. It was like,
oh, that's so sweet.
Like, FaceTimed, called, like, every day.
Yeah, it would be like, what's going on with you? And then just, like, shit will just start hitting the fan. We're like, oh, that really happened? And then just keep going and going. But, like, yes. But, like, now it's just, like she said, we dedicate our time to watching scary movies because that's, like, I think that's what we're passionate about, like, all things horror. And
what are you passionate about? That's why I asked Tara. I was like, let's see, is there something different? Like, do y'all do everything together or what? Like, I was like,
yes. Normally, yes.
What?
We're
Like,
typically a package deal. I will say that we do a lot together. We just like all the same things. Like, seriously, like, at the end of the day, like, it's really hard to differentiate, like, distinct differences between us, I would say, and, like, personality and just, like, everything that we like. I don't know.
God, just marry each other.
I mean, I guess you could say, like, a difference is, like, what we want to do in life, I guess. Because
Exactly.
I'm getting my master's right now in developmental disabilities. So I want to work with children in the hospital. So I'm more of like the medical field, and she's more of like hospitality, like she said. So I guess that's a difference. I've always wanted to work with kids, and especially in the hospital.
Right.
I don't know what else, like, because that's a lot of my background is.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I love my family. I mean, I think we both do, but I love to travel. She loves to travel. Like, I could travel anywhere and do anything, kind of thing.
We just don't really have like a lot of actual hobbies. Like I hate.
I guess
oh,
that's
what are your
I guess
hobbies?
maybe that's what I was
and I'm
asking.
like,
Maybe I don't know.
I don't have hobbies.
Shopping?
Online shopping in person, drinking.
For all you guys
I
out
like
there,
naps.
I'm giving y'all a package deal.
Like I don't know. Like that's like the worst question because I'm just like I
Well,
really don't right now at least.
Like, it's hard. I know we should have hobbies, especially during like the quarantine kind of thing.
Oh, you should have hobbies.
But
I mean,
but
no,
I just
yeah,
but
okay.
I was like sitting just watching Netflix, watching TV,
Well, right
which is
now
horrible.
there's not a lot to do. I
Yes.
guess I guess we can just blame it on
Besides
that.
like go to the parks.
Yeah.
Which we do.
Are y'all not burnt out at all?
Recently, yes.
I ask a lot of people.
Recently,
that come on,
yes.
and
Because we went last week to Magic Kingdom, and it felt like pre-COVID times because it was so busy.
packed?
Yes, it was ridiculous,
Where did I
and
I went to Animal Kingdom and it was packed. Of course, but it was packed. I don't know, but you're right.
it was ridiculous.
Like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
looking.
So I mean, I am going next week because my friend is coming to visit. So
Right.
like, I was like, yeah, we'll go. But like,
You're like, can we go to Universal maybe? I don't know.
well, Universal's also crazy too.
Don't get me wrong, but really?
Well, yes.
I
I mean, on the
haven't.
weekends, yes. But I went last week to do the houses.
Yeah.
And the houses were like 5-minute waits. Every other thing, like the rides were ridiculous.
Okay. So it is busy, but the houses aren't?
No, the haunted houses were not busy at all. It was a 5-minute wait
That's
all day.
Weird. That is weird.
Yeah. And then like they have a special place where you can get like food and drinks.
Yeah.
No one was there.
Nobody?
Literally no one. We asked the lady, we're like, is it always this like dead? And she's like, yeah, no one comes in here. Like no one really knows about the place.
Yeah.
They always go to like Finnegan's to get their drink or, get a shark attack kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess maybe it's just like there's not so much to do right now. I guess that's why everybody gets like so burnt out with the parks. What do you think, Tara?
Just for an example, like when we went to Magic, typically we do Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
During this COVID?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then we would definitely do Haunted Mansion and Pirates. Maybe do Splash.
See, when you already have it to a schedule.
That's the thing. We
that's
literally
like-
go to Tomorrowland. We do
a
Space Ranger
circle.
Spin,
Yeah.
Space Mountain,
Yeah.
and then we'll just skip Fantasyland altogether because irrelevant. Do Haunted Mansion, maybe do Splash, do Pirates, maybe pop back into Cosmic Rays, and then like leave.
Cosmic rays.
Like we have,
place we go to eat.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's like that's one
there's
reason,
no
but
really
there's
good
no good
places
place.
to
There's
eat.
yeah,
no good
especially with
place. That's what I was
Casey's
about to say.
Yes,
closed.
if Casey's
Yes.
was open, we would go there every time we went to Magic.
100%.
But it just got to the point where we were doing the same thing every time, and then it got to the point where those rides were so busy that we would maybe do one ride,
Yeah.
take a picture, and then like leave. It's just so busy.
Yeah. So where do you think, speculating, if I'm asking you, where do you think it would go? Like, how do you think it's going to look in the next 3 or 4 months?
I think Disney's definitely going to get busier because we are already going into the holiday season, and it
True.
typically gets busier.
Did they already say they're going to do like fireworks or anything?
No.
No, that has not been
Okay.
announced or anything because they're not even putting lights on the castle this year. They're just doing projections on the castle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but the only thing is, it's like, what, did they extend the hours?
They did. They did on the week.
I believe so.
I
I
don't
did
know
see.
what days they did, but they did.
I saw that they
extend.
announced the new hours, but I did not look at them because it
worth a
did not
Google.
affect me
Well, true.
personally.
True. It's like,
So I was like,
but okay. So what about you? What do you think? Like in the next couple of months, what do you think is going to end up happening?
Well, it's already getting crazy busy. I mean, I would say probably by next month it's going to be even more crazier because the holidays are coming up.
Yeah.
Especially with Christmas stuff coming out at each park because a lot of people like that. Because I remember when we went on the first day, the Halloween decorations were up. It wasn't. It was pretty crazy. because everyone wants to see the decorations because the parties are not happening. So that's the only place you can,
right,
get a feel of yeah.
holiday.
And so, I mean, with all of the characters coming out too, I did hear they're going to do the Christmas characters. So, I mean, they're doing Halloween.
Coming soon? Like,
yeah.
I guess like after
yeah.
Halloween.
So I would assume like it's going to be people like Christmas. Love Christmas more than Halloween. So I feel like it's going to be
I feel like a lot more
crazy.
Like tourist people would end up coming for that more than
Yeah.
Halloween. Maybe I feel like the Halloween is just more for the people that live here or close by. To be honest, I mean, I don't know. It could be very fucking wrong, but that's what I think. It's just because I think it's like I feel like that's when we get ICPs for like from Brazil, because I feel like that's when a lot of people end up coming. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna look like. What do y'all think about COVID and stuff? Like I mean, I know it's a very controversial subject, but it's a very controversial podcast. Speechless.
It's just
it's okay.
it's too much. I don't really.
I just find it interesting that you even said it was controversial. Like, what exactly do you mean by that?
I feel like a lot of people either agree with it or don't.
But what do you mean agree with? Like, it's literally a pandemic. How can you disagree with it?
True.
Like, it's science.
I'm not saying that I do in general. I feel like a lot of people do.
I think I know what he means.
Like, I feel like a lot of people.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm just asking what you're asking.
I'm asking, what do you think about it?
I think people just need to like get their head out of their ass and just kind of go with what we're going with. Like,
hear that?
I mean, not like you said, you're like, oh, controversial podcast. But like, how can you sit there and say that this isn't real or it's not affecting you? Just because it's not affecting you directly doesn't mean it's not real.
I feel like everyone has a different perspective.
Correct.
And because of that, that's what brings up the controversy.
I'm like, also wear your mask.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Because if you guys were wearing your mask, we wouldn't be dealing with all of this shit right now. Like, if you can't wear your mask, please do not come to the places that enforce it, because you're going to get told to put it on. People have been kicked out of the parks because they're not abiding by the rules.
Yeah.
So if you can't come, then and do what you're supposed to be doing, you should not come at all.
True.
So I mean.
True. See, that's what I mean.
It's just a lot of. I mean, a lot of people think that this is going to end when. I'm not going to say it. The election is going to be done and over with.
This is the reason why I wanted to start the podcast before the election, because I feel like a lot of people think that there's something that's going to end up happening, and I'm like, I don't think
that
so.
is going to happen. I mean,
maybe for Disneyland, maybe for that.
Disneyland is a whole nother fucking story. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to just up and end when the election's done.
True.
Because it's like she said, it's a fucking pandemic. I do believe that a lot of people might have had this last winter, when it did start over in China. People didn't know what it was because it wasn't technically over here, I guess you could say. But I do believe that I hope it's done by spring of next year. We just need a vaccine. But then again, I don't think people would be getting the vaccine because people don't get their kids vaccinated nowadays. I'm so sorry. I'm in the
health.
Well, I did a speech about that when I was in college. So a lot of people don't get their kids vaccinated for certain reasons.
What do you think? I've heard this thing too, and
well,
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, the podcast can go anywhere.
I mean,
but why do you think?
Certain reasons are, I mean, religion. I get a lot of places like religious stuff, they don't get their kids vaccinated because of that. Some people believe it can cause other things like autism, which is incorrect. There was one study of like 50 people where it said it would, but
like, it's a slim minority.
Yeah, like you can't, no. Like, just vaccinate your kids, because if you don't, then those, diseases that we're getting vaccinated for are going to come back, and that's just, that's not okay. We're already dealing with COVID. We don't need to deal with measles or all this stuff that has vaccines that we need to do. Like, we have a list of vaccines that you need to get done by certain ages. Just abide by it and do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, because I've heard a lot of this kind of talk back in Texas, and it was like some parents, they don't vaccinate their kids, and I'm like,
not at all.
Is that would that affect like other kids if that would be the case?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like if your kids don't get vaccinated, kids don't have an immune system.
Keep in
like,
mind, we do not know.
we are not medical
experts.
professionals.
No,
We
not at
just
all.
love talking, and I try to clarify that as much as I can.
But I feel just going back to the whole mask thing and then just like vaccinating your children, people don't like being told what to do. So if their
We're rebels.
government is like, yo, you have to wear a mask, they're like, that's against my rights. And I'm like, it's literally not. Just wear a mask.
They go to HIPAA. They're like, that's against my HIPAA. And I was like,
I don't know. What's it?
no, it's just like a thing where you have. It's a long story. It's just look it up.
It's another
look
social
it up.
media
Yeah,
thing.
let's just look it up. But someone in the parks was told to put their mask up, and a cast member was like, "You need to put your mask up," and they're like, "That's against my HIPAA," and he was like, "No, this is private property. You have to obey by our rules. Like, I'm sorry, if you can't, then we're gonna like you have to be taken out." And
Yeah.
so, like, just vaccinate your kids. Like, wear a freaking mask. Like, just do it, because if you don't, this could prolong longer than we want it to.
100%.
So until then, hopefully a vaccine comes soon. I know
Yeah.
they're testing, but just wear a mask.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Oh, that's true. Also, yeah.
Stay 6 feet away from each other. do all that.
Yes, I think because the whole 6 feet implemented now, I feel like that's going to be used a lot. Even this, I think it's going to when it comes back a lot.
I wouldn't say 6 feet like after the fact, but in the queue lines at Disney, they will get up on top of you, and I'm like, get the fuck off of me. They even do it now. They don't pay attention. They don't even obey by the 6 feet. They see like a line on the ground, and they're like, oh, what's that line? Oh, I have no idea. I'm just gonna come up on top of you. So
I feel people are so dumb like that. I just feel like.
I
Tara,
feel
what do you
like
gotta say?
we have definitely mastered the art of like the look, because we won't say anything to the person if they're on top
Are you
of
talking
us.
about you, or are you talking
Both of
about
us.
in general?
We'll like give
Oh, I
them the
thought you
look.
meant in
No, no,
general.
no. Like if someone is on top of us and they're not on their 6 foot line, we'll be like,
or we'll like talk loudly enough.
they're like, it's almost like we're supposed to be socially distanced. Like we're the most
If that's the
passive
look, it's like,
aggressive.
whoa, okay.
I don't know. If we could just stay 6 feet apart from each other forever, that'd be great. I don't like people on top of me. Happily ever after is a nightmare. So if everyone could just stay away, that'd be fantastic. I'm loving the 6 feet. I'm not gonna lie.
I think a lot of people.
I don't
are.
like people's little children just like breathing down my neck. Ugh.
See,
Like grabbing onto you.
Yeah.
do you
Stay on your line.
do you remember pre-COVID, just like how many people were just they would just squish as many people as they
Yeah.
could together. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, wow,
That's
like,
gross. The amount of sweat I've had from other people, like on my arms, just like standing next to each other, waiting for happily ever after. Absolutely not.
I'm
Sorry.
laughing. She's like so disgusted right. She's like, oh my god, yeah, you're not
Think
wrong.
about it.
I'm thinking about it
Now
now.
if someone
but-
like
I feel like people still don't like they don't obey, like they don't do it even when you're standing like in front of the castle taking a picture. People will still run into you. I'm
Oh,
like, do
yes. So
you
see,
not see me walking here? Like, do you not understand the 6 foot? Like, what's going on? So it's just a, like I said, it's a whirlwind that's going on right now.
Okay, let me ask you this: do y'all feel like social media has a lot to play with anything that's going on right now,
Oh, 100%.
in a good or bad way?
Both. Yeah.
Keep going with that. I feel like I'm getting somewhere.
A good way, because I've seen people that are like posting about like, please wear your mask. If you're not going to wear your mask, don't come, kind of thing. Like, you need to do this and do that. But then also in a bad way, because I think it's escalated it and intensified it in a sense.
And social media did that.
Yes.
In what way? How? No, I mean, I like your examples. I'm not saying, like, I feel like there's no right or wrong answer here, because
I feel like
you're
it's
not wrong.
just, I don't know.
the whole fake news department in our media today and social media,
Walt Disney World today.
not naming names.
I mean,
Wait, they're not-
They're wrong and then they're right sometimes.
Sometimes.
So-
It's just some things
I just
are
wanted
taken
to.
out of
I'm
context.
kidding. I like you guys. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, what were you saying?
Just some things are like taken out of context or taken too far, just a full-blown lie.
Uh-huh.
And in today's world, you just don't genuinely know what is the truth and what isn't.
Yeah.
So I could scroll on Twitter and just see a tweet about some,
I don't have a Twitter.
okay, well, you need to get one. Some account just like stating something random, and people aren't going to second guess it, and they're going to read it, and they're going to be like, oh, that's true, because someone posted it. But it could be fake. Like, you know what I mean? People don't investigate further.
That's why I ask. I'm like, I feel like we fall victim to it all the time.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Like, I guess, like, it didn't matter what it is. Like,
It also like puts up a front, because I mean,
ooh, what do you mean?
people like on Instagram.
Once again,
I mean,
thanks for the coffee, guys.
you're welcome. I guess you could say obsessed. I shouldn't. We're obsessed with social media. It's really bad.
What are you talking about? Like specific ones, or just social?
I would
like
say we're
Instagram?
obsessed with Instagram.
I'm not.
Well, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Instagram.
She is.
So sorry. I like to take pictures when I go places, and I like to like.
Yeah.
So I guess I could say I've fallen into this a little bit, but people put up a front on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, you could post something and you filter it, you edit it, which we do this. So I'm just coming from my personal experience.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I want to get Tara's point of view too, but I like where this is going. Go, you keep going.
So obviously you could put up something and, you know, edit it, filter it, do all this stuff, and it's not gonna look like you.
Freak.
So I mean, like I said, we both do this. But it's just also, you could just be like not like yourself, I guess. I don't know. It's just like hard when looking at social media and then trying to like see them in person, or you could be happy on social media and then in person you cannot be happy, kind of thing.
I feel like that's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot of, yeah. And
Like,
so
I don't know if I'm right, and I just feel like there's just I feel like there's a correlation with depression and the facade of wanting to be on social media, and I think it's correlated in some way. But that's just another. What do you think, Tara?
I definitely agree, because like the whole social dilemma just came out.
Did you see it?
We have watched half of it. But to go back to the whole Instagram.
What, the whole thing? I mean, you already watched it.
We started watching it before one of the NBA games?
Yes.
Yeah, we were killing time before one of the finals games
Oh,
started.
okay,
so we
okay,
just watched
okay.
half of it and we never got back to it.
It's pretty good.
But back to the whole Instagram thing, I think us especially, like, knowing some of these influencers in real life, that we can, like, see the difference between, like, them in person and then, you know what I mean? So,
facade.
yeah, like, knowing that it's not real is kind of eye-opening, because then you don't feel as much pressure on yourself, if that makes sense. Like, you know, these are just real normal people, and you know they over-edit their photos and they over, like, analyze and just everything. I don't know. Just, like, seeing behind the curtains just, like, opens your eyes up so much more to, like,
True.
don't freak out. Like,
True.
who cares?
Be yourself.
If you get 5 likes or you get 500 likes, like, if you like the photo, who literally cares? You're having fun. Like, you're going to look back in 20 years and be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I did that with my friends. Like, that was so much fun. Who cares if you got 157 likes and 3 comments? Nobody cares.
You should
Do
go
you-
back and look at them.
Do y'all feel like do you feel like it happens a lot more with women than it does with men?
100%.
Oh, for sure. Because either a guy has, like, 2
That's what
photos from 2018
Yeah,
holding
yes.
a fish on his Instagram.
Guys don't care.
Guys don't care.
Yeah, this is why I asked. I like having like you guys on, because it gives me another perspective. Because I can only speak for men, but then I'm like, this is probably right. So this is why I asked, because I don't know much about, like, I don't.
Yeah, I would say guys definitely don't care whatsoever. I mean, they might, but they don't show it. I don't know.
What do you
When
mean?
I, like, scroll through my social media, like, it's not guys. Like, it's all girls.
Okay.
Unless it's, like, a model or, like, Machine Gun Kelly. Like, all famous people, Harry Styles. Like, it's not everyday people. You know what I mean?
True.
They're not posting. You're not posting.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, like I don't know. I guess I like this because it's more authentic, but I don't have to kind of have that. Even if, dude, if you look at my social media, I would post whatever. I post like a drumming video, and I'm just like, I don't care if anyone likes it.
But that's
like,
what I'm
you know
saying. Like, guys just don't care. They'll post whatever.
True.
Guys are not
yeah.
gonna like, and guys are not gonna go to the park and just like take pictures or do like a photo shoot. Obviously, girls are gonna do that. They're gonna take 5 outfits. Guys are not gonna be like, yeah, let me take 5 outfits and change and like do all this. Like, no. I mean, there are a few.
There are a few.
There
people.
are a few guys that might post, and when they go to the parks, they might take pictures. But it also depends on like who they're friends with. Like, if they're friends with like a Disney influencer, they're gonna maybe just go towards that and be like, oh, I should do this too. Let me post about it. But like girls are obviously more inclined to.
Why is that though? Like, why do y'all think? Is it just?
Long story short, our society is sexist. And girls feel like they need to be validated, and social media validates us.
Who's the highest? I guess TikToker, but I guess the one that she just became a billionaire. She's like 20-something years old.
I mean, Charlie's the most followed TikToker.
Yeah.
But I didn't know she was a billionaire.
I don't think it's her though. I think it's somebody else that is. She just became like the youngest billionaire. I'm trying to figure out.
It's not Addison Rae.
It's not Addison Rae, no. I'm trying to think who it was, but she has a big following on.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's worth the Google.
Yeah, because I haven't heard of a billionaire.
Yeah, she's the youngest billionaire. It just happened. Like that's why I was like, let me check it out. But what were you saying? Go keep going.
Oh, about society being sexist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
I mean, just like in the terms of the discussion at hand about Instagram is, I feel like girls think they have to post, and obviously not everyone. Like everyone has a different view and different opinion, but especially in the Disney culture and society that we're in, and with Disney influencers.
Yes, I can see it from the Disney standpoint.
It's a lot more intense, I guess you could say. And you just feel like you have to. Yeah, you feel like you either have to fit in and you have to do like the next best thing and find the next best photo shoot spot. And it's just, guys don't care. Like girls feel like, oh, like we spent an hour picking out our outfit to go take one picture in the park and then leave. Like who cares?
Or even doing our makeup, and we shouldn't do our makeup.
Like we're wearing a mask in the park. Like no one's gonna see. Like why does it matter? It matters because it's just like instilled in our brain that it matters. I don't know.
No, I can see where you're coming from. Elizabeth Holmes, that's who it was. The youngest self-made woman billionaire worth $4.5 billion.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. This was just recent. She's like the youngest, like 20-something. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Was right.
Yeah, it's so right. I'm like, any kind of billion, I'm just like, godly. But what do you think, Chelsey?
Like she said, it's just, it's so instilled in our brain to be like, oh, let me post this, let me do that, let me show people what I'm doing. And like in the Disney, I guess you could
Disney
say
bubble,
community bubble, whatever
bubble.
you want to say. If I think of bubble, I think of the NBA bubble, but it's, I mean,
it's in the Disney bubble.
Yes, but I think we want to get validated through Instagram, through the likes, through people commenting, just to see what we're doing, I guess you could say. But also there's a side of that where people, like in the beginning when Disney did reopen and we were posting, people were like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't need to go outside. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. So, I mean, I got a little backlash, and I mean, some people have, about posting and doing this.
That was my next question.
Like,
it was like, do you feel that pressure? Like, because I had Samantha on here. She told me, like, there's this pressure that you feel right before you post and right after. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Like, do you feel like?
Well, so, like, my friend, when we did cast previews for when they opened the parks, my friend posted a picture in Magic with her mask off because we were off to the side, no one was there, like we were fine.
Yeah, just kind of like the societal standpoint, it was bad.
And we asked somebody and they said it was okay.
Yeah.
She got all this backlash because we were not supposed to post pictures with our mask off or have our mask off.
Like, where are your masks?
Yeah, so she took the photo down because she didn't want to get in trouble by leadership or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So it was also just like in that aspect, like it's crazy to see what people say. Because I mean, I posted a picture without my mask on at Universal, and
I did it at Animal Kingdom.
So I mean, I did get a comment of "Where's your mask?" or like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I was off to the side. I was by myself. Like it was off for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in like this huge line of people and be like, "Yeah, let me take my mask off." Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So it's just in this time, like it's definitely like a lot different, I guess you could say, on social media.
Yeah. What do you think?
Just going kind of off of that, but like deleting a post lately. I don't know if you've heard anything about it, but Instagram's like algorithm has changed.
I saw a picture. I don't know what that is. I don't.
Okay, so
but,
the
like,
algorithm,
you have to save it, I guess.
It's basically just like how your photo like gets out there, or like it's on the Explore page, or like whatever. And I guess now your photo really only goes anywhere if people save it. It used to be like likes and comments would like boost it, and now that's not enough. You have to save it. But just I feel like no one's even seeing my photos, like, at all lately. Like, it's even her. Like, you can tell, like, there's a difference in likes, and it's not based on content. It's not based on what time you post, what day, because you can also see that, like, what time your photo does better. It's just literally, like, I feel like people aren't seeing my posts.
Right.
Like, I even asked someone, I'm like, did you see it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, what's going on? So it's even, like, people you follow, their, like, posts are not coming up on your, like, account.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing, but I just
frustrating.
I guess. I mean, this is why I kind of asked. It's just because it's like it's so new. I guess it's just this whole idea of like social media. Like it's just our lives run on social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like I guess this is why I also say, like, do women have this social pressure on there? But yeah, I feel like I do 10 times better than men do on there. Like,
so to, like, I don't know, to sum up my thoughts on it, I feel like there is that pressure to do better and, like, post something, like, pretty, or, like, make sure you look, like, skinny at that angle, or, like, have a good background, or, like, have a cute outfit. Yeah, we'll hit them with one of those.
yeah.
But
I don't know, dude.
and it is frustrating when you take the time to, like, get ready and pick out an outfit and take the perfect photo, and then
edit it,
and then you get, like, 100 likes when you're used to getting, like, 300. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, why do I care? Like, I don't care,
But you do care.
it's like I don't.
I mean, I'm just trying to decipher that.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
Really, it's messed up.
I don't care.
That's what girls think about.
I don't care on the amount of likes it gets. I get upset with Instagram itself that it's like, and, like, I don't care in this grand scheme of things because, like, Instagram's not my life. It's not my job. It's not relevant. You know what I mean?
It is,
I feel-
it is
yeah.
people's job, though. It's
Yeah,
there is.
especially- and that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
business,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I mean.
For
That's what
them,
I'm
like, I'm, like, upset for them because, like, they put so much work into it and they do these photo shoots and they do the editing and spend all this time, and then
Yeah.
Instagram is just like, I don't care. For me, it's irrelevant. Like, I don't care at the end of the day whether or not I get 5 likes or 10 likes. Like, who cares? It was fun.
Same.
But to put all that time and effort into it and then be like, oh, no one even saw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
I
what
know.
I mean by
That's
it.
the part of posting.
That's another thing. What's the point? Because no one sees it at the end of the day. So that it's like, okay.
Well, the point would be validation, right?
No.
No.
I don't.
She said yes.
She's saying yes. I'm saying no. Like I was saying, at the end of the day, I don't care about the likes. It's like just the putting in all the effort, I guess, behind it. I don't need the validation, but for it to not even get seen, I guess, if that makes sense.
Chelsey.
No, it does.
Okay, because I can see it makes sense, and you're not wrong. There's only like a certain point where I'm like, the point where it's for this. Yes, this is why it's good to explain, because I like this sort of platform where you can explain it. What do you think?
I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm looking for, I don't know, like some validation in a sense, just to like.
Some guy's probably out there like, I just want him to fucking look at it. Like that's probably the only reason. Like,
I mean,
that's all I was saying
no, that's not a guy. No.
guys.
Guys. No, I don't know, just like have it out there and just, like she said, we have put so much effort into what we do, and that's just girls in general. Most girls, at least, I would say in the Disney bubble, I guess most girls are, they put so much effort into doing this. And like we said, this is people's lives. They get money for posting things, they get sponsored, and when they're not even seeing our posts, then that's messed up, and that's not okay. So
Yeah.
it's Instagram's
just falls
fault.
back on Instagram.
Yeah. But
That's
it's
crazy.
just,
Are
in
you-
today's society, that's just how
Are y'all on
it is.
TikTok?
we don't post, we just watch. And like people's TikToks.
I mean,
We've tried to,
attempted.
yes.
This was
I
like in the
just-
beginning of COVID where you're like, we should make the
this is
TikTok.
like as of recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this
No,
is
we
recent?
just like we got an account what is it?
Like 2 months
2
ago?
months ago?
Yeah, we're fresh to the
yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
bubble.
I mean, we've asked to like Ben and our friends, but like I don't know how I feel about
Actually posted.
yeah. Cuz I feel like that's another sense of just like putting so much pressure into what we do.
Well,
the
and
TikTok?
I mean, I feel like maybe the algorithm is different. It can help out, and because you don't know those people. I guess this is what I'm saying. Maybe that's why it's a
Yeah.
little different from like the Instagram one.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like Tara, what do you guys?
I just like the aspect of TikTok more, obviously, than Instagram because you can see whoever, whenever. Like, your For You page is just so spot on. Like TikTok's
But
algorithm
for
is like
your specific,
insanity.
but like your For You is not gonna be the same as my For
correct.
You. That's why I like
we
it.
have the same For You page.
It's weird. She'll show a video and like show it to me, and then like,
I already saw it.
either that or like 3 down, it's the same video, and I was like, look. She's like, this is so weird that it's the same.
Or we'll end up watching the same one at the same time on our For You page, and I'm just like, what is happening? But to answer your question, I guess, about like it's easier or whatever, I feel like there's less pressure on TikTok because, I mean, anyone's video can go viral. Like my sister posted a TikTok and it had like 3 million views, and then all of her others have like 1,000. So it's like any video that you post could randomly just blow up.
Right.
So do
you feel like that would be more in the favor, I guess, like for anybody? Like it could be fair game.
Yes, but I feel like I'm not saying you don't have to be creative to be on Instagram. You do. You definitely do.
There's some that aren't even creative, but it's just because they're hot, they're doing well.
On Instagram or on TikTok.
On both.
I'm just saying, like,
Does that make sense?
Instagram, you're just like standing in a spot. I feel like of course, like TikTok is all over the place.
Right.
But like I feel like the most popular ones are either people who dance or who are just like funny.
Or cosplayers. I've seen a lot of those.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah,
no idea what you're talking about.
But I'm saying like they're you know what I mean though, like
Yeah.
that whole idea of that literally someone literally so hot can do something so dumb or
Yeah.
do nothing.
Yeah.
And it would get so many likes.
But I also like TikTok because it's like you could be anybody doing
It's true.
anything,
That's true.
and people could love you. Like it just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much easier on TikTok to be yourself. That's where I'm going with this.
That is true.
Instagram is like she said, it's like a facade, but TikTok, I feel like people are just like being themselves.
What's this idea about? This is the first time I ever heard about Finsta.
A Finsta?
Yeah, I never.
That's like so high school.
Do you not have a Finsta?
No. I did have one. I don't have one anymore.
Why did you have one? What is a Finsta? Because I don't know.
I was always told it's like a fake Insta.
Right.
Like post like
Whatever you want.
like shit, like
So if I was having like a mental breakdown, I'd be like post a crying photo and be like having a mental breakdown.
like drunk pictures.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. It's stuff you wouldn't post to your normal Insta because it didn't fit you like your vibe or your aesthetic. But you just follow all like your friends on
That's
your
so
Insta,
weird.
and you just post your dumb photos, and you're like, "This is what I'm doing," or like, "Oh my gosh, like Bethany didn't text back," like teehee. You know what I mean?
That's the same thing. Like that's like kind of like the same thing of like a Snapchat private story. So I mean, on the you
That's
know
the green circle, right? The green circle.
Green circle's on Instagram.
Oh wait, what am I talking about? What are you
That's
talking
your
about?
close
Snapchat,
friends on
it's a
Instagram.
Oh, on
Yeah.
Snapchat.
So I guess you
I
could
don't
say
use
it's like
a lot.
Instagram as well. Instagram close
Yeah.
friends, which is the green circle.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess you could say that's the same thing because you're not going to post the same thing on your like public story than on your private story because
Right.
your private story you pick the people you want to see it. So obviously it's
That's
people
so devious.
who you
Why would
like
I do that?
are gonna.
Just
I have some examples.
It's just it
You wanna share them?
depends. It just depends on what you're posting.
Most of the time when I post on my private Snapchat story, it's
Sarah,
nothing
I just
like
love your enthusiasm right now.
it's nothing
so
like
great.
scandalous or exciting. It's just like I don't want all of these random people I'm friends with on Snapchat to see it because I know
Okay.
they don't care.
So you
but-
just want specific people to see it.
Yeah, but it's in the sense like, oh, these are actually my friends,
Uh-huh.
so I want them to see it, but I don't want all these random people to see it. Or if you're feeling real frisky, you make a private story with one person on it and you post your cute little thirst trap and see if they respond. But you don't want them to feel special and think it's just for them, so you don't send it to them. You just post it on your private story. Not every girl does that. Not saying I do that. I'm just saying I've heard of it. So if you
Not
need
saying
any...
that I do it.
Yeah, no, just like a little heads up if you need some private story.
If you want some
tips.
examples.
Yeah,
Go to your
I've
girl.
just heard of
Look at
them.
you.
I've
There
heard
you
of
go.
those examples. Not saying I have personal experience
Okay.
with those.
What do you think?
I mean, she's definitely spot on.
Spot.
Yes, I mean, I have a private story, but like you said, it's because of like you want your friends to see it. You don't want like everybody on your Snapchat or even on your Instagram to see you getting drunk or whatever you want to say, or like you drinking again because people are gonna judge you for it. And that's another thing is obviously people are gonna judge you for doing certain things, and so your friends are not really gonna judge you because they already know you. They already know that you're gonna be like, oh fuck, she's going out drinking tonight again. Like they're not gonna judge you for that, and they're not gonna be like, oh,
Are you
you're
saying
drinking?
that you guys go drinking every day?
No, not every day. That was before quarantine. That was in the start of quarantine.
truth
Not right
of
now.
But to mention quarantine, I feel like in today's climate, I especially don't post when I'm doing anything because I feel like people are just gonna like judge.
Yeah.
Like for example, if we have friendly gatherings,
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to post it on my full blown story because I know people are gonna be like, "What are you doing? We're in the middle of a pandemic." But I'm like, I know these people. I'm comfortable with these people. I know we're clean. Like we hang out frequently. Like you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. Like that is the kind of thing, the fake facade that I see a lot. It's just the idea that people are not going to post about it.
Yeah.
And if they do, they just either don't. You kind of understand their ideologies and know like, oh, I don't care. And then there's other people that are just like, you know what? I think it's kind of like blown over a little bit, and they try to like make it seem okay just because they're around people that make it seem okay. Because I think that at the end of the day, like they're just gonna do their own thing if they feel they're safe, and I don't know. But
it's just like I keep going back and forth with it, and I don't know. I don't like talking about it because I feel like I'm a hypocrite.
No, we all fall victim to it all the time. It does. That's probably the best way to kind of put it is that I kind of like look at it and say, yeah, we fall victim to it all the time. But that's also kind of saying like, yeah, they know us. Like, oh, we know we're being safe. Like we know we go and drink, but at the same time, they're my friends. They're not gonna really. It's like who are those people that are really telling you? Like, are they actually your friends, or are they just the one negative person that always like ends up trolling you, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know, but like that's just like something I'd post on my private story is hang out with my friends. Yeah, and especially in today's like climate.
Yeah, you know? No, 100%. Okay, so I guess like the last topic, and the idea of dating and COVID. How is it? Is it shitty? Like it just overall? Not
I feel like we have two very different perspectives on this topic.
That's so weird because you're two peas in a pod. You know, you're just together.
Yeah. So you
Chelsea's
with this one? Okay. I guess during quarantine, at least, I dabbled on dating apps. I guess you could say.
Do you feel like they worked better?
I guess it depends. I don't know. I definitely have like met people from like dating apps. Like I've definitely met them in person, like hung out with them, and like talked to them. I don't know.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
I just don't want to like go into like too much like specifics.
You don't have to. Okay, let's just go with dating apps. Do you feel like they work?
Yes, I think they do.
Pre or post COVID or during COVID? All.
Both. So I've had experience with before and then like during.
I feel like Chelsea disagrees.
Like I said, completely two different perspectives. It also just depends on like what you're like looking for. Like if you go into it with the mentality of like you're trying to find somebody, you're not gonna find somebody. Or if you like over try, or you kind of just have to like go with the flow. But it also depends on the person. Like everyone's gonna look at it differently. Everyone's gonna go about it differently.
Yes.
Everyone looks at dating differently. So it just depends, I guess.
No, I mean, I just like, are you on Hinge? I feel like that's like the new one. That's like.
I was on Hinge. I mostly use like.
Success or no?
Bumble.
Bumble? I feel like that one's like old, maybe.
I mean, it's worked the best for me.
Yeah, I guess. Chelsea, what do you think?
I'm so triggered.
I wish you would have gone into more of your details, but it's fine. She could, but I'm not gonna, blast her for that. But
I mean, y'all can blast each other. I don't care. I'm just enjoying it.
I'm not gonna blast her because she will fuck me up if I say something. I'm not that kind of person. I am a good person.
Go ahead, start talking about yourself. I'm interested.
I mean, I'm on them. I don't particularly use them. It's kind of like I wouldn't say for fun.
But do you feel like they work?
Kind of like on a side note, I would just like to say I am no longer on them. I deleted all of them. I feel like that should be said.
Oh, so that's how things
are
going. I've seen them work. I've seen them not work. It just depends on the situation and what the person is looking for. Because I feel like like certain apps, so you're going on there and looking for certain things. Like if you go on Tinder, we know exactly what that's gonna entail. So if you're not looking for that, then don't get a Tinder. I mean, I don't go on there like anymore. It's kind of just like, oh, let me see. But
like a validation thing.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
I say it's an ego boost.
Because
like,
because like obviously
sometimes. Because
you
nothing comes of it, but there's people that would end up swiping it.
Yes,
and
so
it's
like
just
obviously you're gonna put your time and effort into putting nice pictures on your profile.
It's so weird. Like, I guess it's just like that whole
and
idea.
the questions and
And
what
then
you
after that, you're like,
post.
okay, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, and then you see like the people. It just also depends on the app because there's gonna be like all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it just depends on.
Well, the reason I ask is like, I guess, do you feel like, because if you think about it, we are a generation that knew life before internet and social media, and then we also know life after. So we have like the best of both, and I feel like the way that we date also has dramatically changed.
I agree.
Oh,
And this is
yeah.
what points do you feel like have changed?
When a man asks for your Snapchat before he asks for your phone number, that's ridiculous. It is 2020.
Is it the same with Instagram? Because I say the same thing.
But like, they don't want your phone number; they just want your Snapchat. And I'm like, why? It's like their main form of communication.
Yes,
like, you are
main form of
25 years old. Get my phone number. I don't
Okay.
know. I feel like that's a definite notice, like
Mhm.
a definite change. Is that people just like ask for your?
And you think it's a negative? Like, you think you should just ask for the number?
Well, if they
It depends. It can go either way. I'm just saying that was like a noticeable change. They ask for your social media or they like Instagram or Snapchat before they ask for your number. Like, a number is like so official now.
That is true.
Just to have someone's phone number, and I'm like,
to text and to call people is like, oh, you're going somewhere with this.
like I saw a TikTok
Whoa.
that was like,
Okay, so that no, like that idea,
Yeah.
that idea.
I saw this
Oh, fuck,
TikTok
this is gonna-
that was like when he sends you an iMessage instead of Snapchat, and it's like, it looks like I have a boyfriend. Like, it's just such a thing to like have their phone number for some reason. I don't know. Maybe we're just like,
No,
maybe it's just the
I-
wrong people that we're associating with, but
I feel like it's in younger generations, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
but we're also in our 20s, and like that's how it.
True. Like, I feel
it
like because we're
still
like in
is.
the cusp also, like, of like
Yes.
fucking people.
Because I feel like if you're going to use Snapchat as a form of communication, like you're trying to hide something, I guess you could say. I know it's like kind of, I don't know.
No, explain it. I mean, that's why I'm kind of like, I don't use Snapchat as much as I feel like a lot of people do.
Maintaining the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because obviously, like, if you send something and they don't open it within, like, 10 minutes, and they open it, like, 2 hours later, and they send something, and you're like, oh, fuck, what did I
What
send?
was I talking about?
What were we talking about? I totally forgot, because it's been 2 hours.
But
And
do
rather,
you
like,
think that could happen also with messaging?
No.
What do you mean, like texting?
Yeah. Because
It's just there.
oh.
I'm saying when you're texting, like, the conversation's there, but on Snapchat,
Yeah.
you're sending a picture.
Oh, that's what you mean. That's what
Yeah.
you mean.
It also disappears, and it's just like.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay.
Since it's
I know
not-
what you mean now. Okay.
Since it's not permanent, people, I feel, are more inclined to just say whatever they want because they know it's going to disappear. It's not there forever.
Are you saying that just for Snapchat, or
Yeah.
just for like?
I'm saying for
Instagram and
Snapchat
Facebook
alone, I
is a
feel
whole
like that's why
different thing?
people like using it as a form of communication, is because it's
Wow.
not permanent. It's just kind of one and done kind of thing.
Yeah,
You can send whatever you want, and it's gone as soon as they open it.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorta. Like I mean,
And maybe that's not everyone's thought process, but
I feel like it's like in
trying
the
to
realm.
understand the male brain, which is impossible.
I mean,
but I
obviously-
feel like that's a main
See-
thing behind it, is that it just kind of gives them the freedom to do and say whatever they want because there's no like permanence to it.
Okay, so then let me ask you then, because in this ideal world of dating, how it is with dating apps and stuff like that, how do you feel like a guy should come up to you then?
In a dating app or just
No,
in general?
like in general, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you feel like there's already a difference on, like, that's
Yeah,
the
'cause,
ideal
like,
thing.
Okay, in
Guys,
dating
listen up.
apps, you want the guy to be the first one to say hi or whatever. But also, I feel that way in like in real life, like in person.
Yeah.
I want the guy to come up to me, which I know is like a bad thing to say, because like in today's time, girls like should have power and like go and do something.
Yeah, I
and,
literally don't care. I'm like, hey.
yeah. So, but that's just like me.
That's
like,
why you're on Bumble, girl. That's why you're on Bumble.
I was like, hi,
So
friends. Yeah, no problem.
yeah, so that's just me, because I'm more of like, when you first meet me, I'm like to myself, quiet, and then once you get to know me, I'm like very vocal and outgoing. So I think that's just with my personality. So I'm rather like, I want someone to come up to me and introduce themselves to me. But I think since Disney, I have changed a little bit
I guess it's just you with the surroundings. You
yes,
just kind of like go
yes,
with
it depends on like the situation where you are as well, and
Yeah.
all of that. So
The question was, how would you like someone to approach you
Yeah.
in today's actual world?
Yeah. Well,
not-
yeah. Well, I like her perspective because one, she already acknowledges that there's a difference.
Yeah.
The fact that like someone goes on the dating app and this is the way that you should approach, and then like cold, like you just go and just like, I guess it's like the cold calling approach where you just go up to the person. Would you like that more, or would you go with the dating app more?
Either way, I don't have like a preference if like someone would come to me in person or like whatever. But I was like just thinking about this, touching back on like the whole phone number thing. It definitely depends on the person, because I'm not just gonna give my phone number to anybody. If some weird guy was like, "Oh, what's your Snapchat?" I'd be like, "Here you go," and then like immediately like not add them as a friend. So I will say that. But I'm saying a guy straight up like asking if you're trying to talk to him and he asks for your Snapchat instead of your phone number. It's like kind of suspicious. But back to the question at hand. I don't know. I'm completely opposite. I don't care. I will say hi to someone. I will go up to them. Like, I will message them first. Does not affect me whatsoever. I don't know. But like you said, especially in today's climate with like COVID and not being able to go out actively and like seeing new people all the time, you don't really have the option.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to see like a cute guy in a restaurant and be like, hey, how's your dinner?
Like,
Don't mind me just interrupting. Like,
how's your dinner?
No, like, I'm going to go home.
Your number.
Yeah. I'm just going to stick to Bumble. I'm going to, whatever. I don't care. Previously. Past experience, yes.
Okay. I don't know. I just, the way that you're right, like, I feel like the way that the acknowledgement is, like, the old approach, maybe, like, to go and approach somebody is totally, like, diminished, I guess.
I feel like it stands out even more now if somebody does that.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's just like it's more.
It's like, oh my god.
It's like, oh, you
And not
really
just
want to talk to me.
Yeah. Or not just be like, let's say you're like at a party and you're like, you wanted Chelsea's Instagram. You wouldn't go up to Chelsea and be like, hey. You'd come up like, you'd be like, oh, Adam, who's that girl at that party? And they'd be like, oh, that was Chelsea. And they'd be like, oh, can I get Chelsea's Instagram? Like, you'd go through your friends. You wouldn't just, and then you would follow them. You know what I mean? You wouldn't straight up just be like, hey, Chelsea, you're interesting. Let me talk to you. I don't know. And today, you know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yes, you're trying to make it make sense, and it kind of does make sense.
Like, people would rather just like go through the grapevine to find somebody than directly go up and talk to them.
True. Like, I feel like they already have to have a social net for like a safety net for them to kind of like go and approach.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like. Because even if you just have like a group of friends, like that's the only way to go and talk to them, I guess. I'm like, dude, why don't you just go talk to them? Like,
yeah.
Like, maybe that's the approach that I'm talking about. Is that out of the way? Like, you don't feel like a lot of people do that?
No.
Yeah. So
even before, I feel like no.
They still go through your friends.
I feel like, yeah. Or even just like with social media in general, they don't feel like they have to talk to you in person because they can talk to you on social media. You know what I mean?
No, true. I just feel like I guess it's like a scapegoat for guys.
They don't have to like confront it.
Exactly.
And it's easier to send one message and not get a respond than to go up to someone in person and be like, hey, and then be like,
they're afraid again. I mean, I feel like girls are afraid of getting denied too, but I feel like it happens to guys more than girls, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess I could see where you're coming from with that.
I mean, maybe.
I'm also not a guy, so I don't know.
True. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel guys would get rejected a lot more than girls would.
But I also think that's because guys put themselves out there more than girls do.
Yeah.
So they're more inclined to rejection because it's like they're putting themselves out there more. Like a girl might talk to 5 guys and get rejected by 1, or a guy could go up to 100 girls and get rejected by,
almost everyone. They're just, guys don't care. I feel like with that one person that would say yes.
They will literally say whatever they fuck want to say. Like, they're just like, they'll just like go out there and just say something, and then you're like, oh, that first, I'd be like, that first message, no, that's not okay. So like, obviously girls are gonna like, I mean, yes,
Okay.
100%. They will literally say whatever the fuck they want to say.
That's true.
And girls are more like, we think about, I guess you could say, the first message we want to send. Like, oh, like we look at, okay, this sounds so stupid. We look at their profile. We want to see like, oh, what's going on?
See,
and we want to relate to them. So like, that's what we want to say. Like, guys just want to like
be like, oh, you're gorgeous, or oh, you're really pretty.
And I'm
Like as the
"Thank
first
you.
message, I was
I
like,
know
thank
that."
you. Like I really appreciate that, but like,
You're like
come on,
boring.
give me some communication. Give me some like actually in-depth conversation.
Do something
Rather,
different. Don't
yes.
just be like, you're pretty.
Right,
okay?
yeah, because like
What about
obviously
it?
that's probably like every message from a guy is gonna be like, you're pretty, you're gorgeous.
Or a guy
totally
that just
ugly.
doesn't know.
I'd be like, why
Be
are you
like, you'd be like, yeah, why am I ugly? Yeah, so
That would get a response.
yes, I feel like more guys are, like she said, more inclined to get rejected because they're gonna put themselves out
So
there.
you'd
more.
rather want more negative like feedback than positive feedback?
It's not necessarily that. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be a guy and you're going to message a girl on a dating app, don't just be like, oh, you're pretty, or like, hi, like, you're gorgeous, like she said. That's just so basic. Like, think about it.
Hear that?
Look at my profile. I put time and effort into it. Be like, how was your trip to Disneyland? Or what do you do at Disney? Nothing anymore. Or like the questions we answer on Hinge, like ask about that. Be like, oh, you have a cat? Don't be like, oh my God, you're literally so pretty. Like, we know that. We know that we're pretty. Like, do something different. Like,
Okay, so what is
It's true though.
No,
It's 100% true.
I'm not maybe disagreeing with you. I'm trying to understand it, and yeah, it kind of like doesn't make
So
sense.
obviously,
a lot.
guys are not going to really put that much effort into their profiles. Okay, so like, there's this thing I've seen it on TikTok. Like, if a guy has a picture with a
TikTok
fish,
shows everything. Let's just say that, like
If
literally.
a guy has a picture with a fish on his profile, immediately no, fuck no, don't do it. So it just
What
depends
about a
on
dog?
like, huh?
What about a dog?
I'm going to say swipe left because I don't really like dogs.
You're like, it's so fake. I don't
They're
know,
like,
I'm
they're
just
only
saying.
putting the dog on there to get the attention, and most of the time the dog is ugly, no offense, so I don't care. If you have a fish and a dog, like,
Tara, I feel like you're
block.
one of a kind. Like this girl's like going straight to like the source.
Because it's happened.
See, she's already like calling it out. Like, nah.
No, it just like we put so much effort. I would I don't go on there anymore. So like my pictures are probably like old. I don't update it. I'm like, I don't
Old
care.
is 3 months. But whatever.
Yeah, so like I don't care. I just go on there. I'm like, oh, let me see what's new, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, the only thing as to my dating apps life, I guess you could say, is I've only like communicated. I haven't actually met them in person. So like that's just.
I feel like no one really wants to do. I feel like just the social interaction you get is enough.
Yeah, because then you're like, what if I meet them in person? Like, what if it's
What if I
completely
get
different?
murdered?
Yes.
Oh my
like, what's going on?
So-
Like, what's gonna happen? Like, where are we gonna go? Obviously, a public place. Like, for me, like, I'm not gonna. Like,
I'm just like,
yeah, that's me. That's me. So it just depends.
I think it's just you. Let's just clarify that. I feel like a lot of people, like women would end up feeling that way also because I don't. She's like,
not.
I have met up with people from like online, like on dating apps, like not necessarily in a public place, I guess you could say.
hey, why don't you meet me in this alley?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
But then, like, my friends have my location. I tell them what I'm wearing. I also make sure the person is not a murderer. I'm like, I literally am like, it would be so unfortunate if you murdered me. Like, that would not be cool. Just to, like, vibe them out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, please don't kidnap me. Like, I will tell them that. Just to see their reaction. I don't know. I'm
Chelsea's
like,
face is just so
she's like, she's
priceless
such a
right now.
disappointment.
She's like,
I just have experience.
This is how we differ.
I'm just more
I wanted it.
outgoing
I
in that.
wanted it.
I guess I'm just more outgoing in like the dating department.
No, true.
Because I've had past relationships.
oh,
I
man.
guess.
She's like,
for the jugular now?
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
she did.
I feel like that's why we're different in that department.
Well, like she said, I've never dated, so I
never
can't
said
really. Well,
You said that.
I'll just go ahead and let it out there. I've never had a boyfriend. I know, 24 years old, never had a boyfriend. Oh my God, that's just like crazy.
I don't think
Today's-
I mean, in today's, I don't think it's that crazy. I feel like,
I feel like it's more normal because people just don't like being in relationships. Like people like being by
Yeah.
themselves, I guess.
I mean, I just like growing up, I was always focused on my academics, and I was just like, I don't have time for a
Tara's
fucking.
like,
I don't have time for a fucking boyfriend. I don't have time to like no like. So obviously now I'm like, I would like one. Like I know. There you go. I would like one.
in that sense. Just to like, I don't know, have.
Yeah, you're at that point in your life where
I'm 24.
But
Come on.
do you feel like it's the social way because they feel like you should
Like
have
pressure.
well,
Yes.
to have everything set by 25 because after that is
Yes.
downhill from
Also,
there.
it's just like from your parents. They're like,
Oh gosh, so it's
when
mostly your
when are
parents.
you
So if you
gonna
bring it
get-"
up, it's because of your
Yes,
parents.
Yes. Well, I mean, also yes and no, because like obviously, like I would want to have a boyfriend soon, but in today's,
But up to their standards.
which is very fucking high, since I haven't had one, so they can't compare it to anybody else.
You have brothers or sisters?
I have a younger brother who is in a relationship, so a committed relationship. Like he plans on like being with this person for the rest of his life.
You're like,
at
what's
this
wrong with
sense.
you? You crazy?
Yeah. I'm like, you've only been dating a year. What's going on? But I mean, so I told my mom, I was like, well, there's your grandkids coming from my brother. So at this point, nothing's happening. So I'm just like, I'm not going to like put myself out there like 100%. And I mean, just
I don't know what that means. I'm not going to put myself out there, but you guys, I'm available.
she's like, I want a boyfriend, but I'm not going to try for it. So if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's kind of her mindset with
I think that was the best interpretation I've heard, in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, you're just going to go with the flow. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, because like she said, if
But do
you
you
put
feel
yourself out there, it's gonna, not particularly happen. Like if you just, because that's what people keep saying. Don't like really try
Don't
to have
look for
don't
it.
look for one. Don't try for one. Just don't do
force
it. Yes, and
Uh-huh.
then something will happen. Something will come of it, in a sense.
that's the love story that everybody
With that
wants.
being said, that doesn't mean you can sit in your room and just expect love to find you. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm not saying you're doing that at all. I'm saying you
song
do.
at that point.
You have to put yourself out there a little bit. Like they're not just gonna like float into your life and be like, oh, perfect love story.
Drop that handkerchief.
You still have to try a little bit. Like drop your mask and be like, oh, drop my mask. Like no, you still gotta try.
And Chelsea's like,
This is why we look good.
You're like, this is why we get ready for this podcast. No, just kidding.
okay, and okay. So let's talk about this. Okay, so now we're gonna get. Do you feel like there's this idea of settling, and also the idea that the pull is also kind of like different now? Like there's not a lot but that also goes with higher standards. I feel like I feel like
So
and I don't think that's a bad thing for anybody who wants to hire. Hey.
yeah, like everyone has different, I guess not necessarily standards, but like everyone's looking for something different. Obviously, like who I go after is not the same person she's gonna go after. Thank God, because that would be a mess. That would be tragic. But I feel like this goes back to the whole social media thing. Is that people, especially like our age in today's world, they don't want to like find someone. They don't want to settle down. They like having options. And like you see all these people on social media, like you said, like someone could be hot and like get famous from that. They see all these people and they're like, well, like you're not that person.
That's too. Yeah.
You know what I
just-
mean?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, well, that person is out there, even though that person isn't real. That's fake. It's edited. It's Instagram. So you know what I mean? Like, so
Yes.
they could see Chelsea and be like, well, Chelsea isn't, that model on Instagram. Like, I want that person. Yeah, you're gonna get compared.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
But that's in today's society.
just to relate back to that. But what was the question?
No,
We're on a
it's
tangent.
like the idea of like settling down and that like maybe at some point what ends up happening is that people end up lowering their standards.
You
I
just
think
kind of
that's-
settle.
Yeah.
I guess I see that. It also just depends on like where you're at in life. Because like right now, like I still need to finish my bachelor's. Don't know if I'm gonna
That's
get
what
my
I'm saying.
master's
Like,
or if I'm gonna do something
20s
else.
are
like
young.
exactly.
Like, I think
I don't know. I don't
usually you're
understand the
married till, like,
pressure
up to 30.
behind trying to be in a committed relationship or having your life together by the time you're 25, like you said.
mommy and daddy.
Like I could be 35 and like,
Well, I feel like it's also
you know what I mean? Like
society too.
it shouldn't matter how old you are. Just go at your own pace.
So they're starting their own podcast also.
No,
And
'cause
this is a lot of the topics that we're talking about.
Yeah. So I guess you could also say like when you graduate high school, you have to have a mindset of like what you're gonna do in life.
You feel like that?
Absolutely.
I felt like that when I graduated
like
high school. I
yeah.
felt like I needed my shit together and I needed to know what I was gonna
That
do.
okay, that is understandable. I feel that feeling is understandable, but to know what you're gonna do, that's rare. Like to
I mean,
actually
yes,
say
I feel like
that.
in today's society, more people are like going to college like as like
undecided, and
and it's very expensive.
Yeah, and then they realize what they want to do depending on the time
Whatever.
span. They do their common classes first, like core classes.
But
But
community college is cheap.
yeah,
Who cares?
do that and then transfer to a bigger
Yeah.
university or whatever. But I mean, like I when I was in college, I changed my major 3 times. So I mean, it was the same.
It was
like
pricey.
I did finish in 4 years, so we were good with that.
She's done.
I did finish. We're good.
You hear that, guy? She's done.
But I'm going to get my master's, so
Never mind. She's not done.
just 2 years. We're fine. But I do believe people sometimes, I guess you could say, will lower their standards just to settle down. But also, like, people don't need to have their standards set so high, and I shouldn't be saying
But
that.
I'm saying it happens
because-
for both guys and girls.
I
Like,
mean, my standards are high, and
They're, like,
they're
through
like
the
up
roof.
through the roof, and,
Like
and they,
Eiffel Tower high.
so
Tara's like, no, like, see that guy up there? Yeah, there's no guy up there.
there's no one up there.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think definitely just like really think about what you want in a relationship at the core, not just like of how they look,
Yeah.
just how they treat you well.
You gotta be funny, guys. You gotta
Of
be
course,
funny.
gotta be 100% funny because we are funny. You have to
You gotta step up.
you
Gotta
have
keep
to
up with
understand.
You be the judge. Are
you
they
have-
funny?
literally-
They're like, no.
You have to understand my sarcasm because I'm very sarcastic,
Okay.
and so that's just me, I guess.
I feel like just touching on like not necessarily the standards thing, but what you expect from a relationship. That's why I'm like thankful for my past relationships, is because I know I know what I want and what
I think
I
that's a
don't
flaw
want.
because I feel like you have to go through like shit to
Yeah,
know. Like,
you have to know what you like and what you don't like, and that's where I think another like difference is because she doesn't exactly know what she wants. You know what I mean?
Oh, she's calling you out.
No, I'm not calling her out. I'm just saying she doesn't know what she wants because she's never like
Actually,
had necessarily
realize.
experience.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like it's literally equivalent to college. You don't know what you want until you like do it. Like I changed my major 3 times because I discovered and I learned what I liked and what I didn't like. It's comparable.
Yes.
Now through my past experience, I know what I'm looking for. So I don't believe I don't see myself settling for someone because I very strictly like have a checklist. I know what I want. I'm not messing with it. I know the person is out there, so
That checklist just keeps adding on more. I
as
feel
you
like.
get older, the checklist I feel like it's bigger, not shorter.
Wow, but see, I think it's different.
I mean,
feel like-
it also just depends on the person.
True.
So, I
Maybe
don't
it's just
know.
like a guy girl thing. I don't know.
Maybe
That's just
maybe
like-
guys settle
Do you
as they
think
get
so?
older.
Dude, the only reason I'm saying that
I
is
could have a whole conversation on that. but-
I could argue it because I feel like the whole idea with dad bods and they're just like,
Love a good dad bod.
see, what the fuck? I don't understand that. I'm just like, what the? But at the end of the day, it ends up happening. It's just like, why is that even a thing? Because it's like guys don't even take care of themselves at that point.
I would disagree with that because everyone's built different.
But a dad bod,
It
That's-
depends.
okay.
Like everyone's built different. So that's like saying a girl, like when guys are like, oh, I like thick girls. Are you saying that person is unhealthy because they're thicker? No, that's just how their body is. They could work out every day, they could eat healthy, and they could still be thick.
Right, but that's not the majority of guys that go for it. That makes sense? I feel like more guys go for like more, petite and like kind of like.
I feel like today's society, it's more of like the thicker. And maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a guy.
I could be fucking wrong.
But
I don't know.
just to compare that like with the dad bod, that doesn't mean like they're unhealthy or they don't take care of themselves.
No, I'm not saying that. Just like, what
It's
is
just- I
what
feel
is
like
it?
it's
What is it
compar-
about the dad bod that you like?
I mean, just to like say
you dad
like,
bods
if
out
like
there.
guys are like too skinny, like you feel like
we don't want someone skinnier than us because like, you gotta have some.
some cushion, some cushion.
Does it make it makes you feel good about yourself? Maybe. No. Tara's like a little bit.
You would definitely agree with me that like if a guy is skinnier than you, then you're kind of like this is awkward
well, the thing
because
is, like,
you know.
This is so weird. But the thing is, if you want to like borrow his sweatshirt or a T-shirt, you don't want a small or a medium because that's not gonna happen.
I feel like a lot
That's
of
gonna be a crop top on me. I'm sorry. I want one that's gonna be big and
XL,
yes. So like I don't
I feel
want
like
someone.
the whole simp age right now. A lot of those guys are like that. Is that wrong? Could be wrong.
Like what?
Like what?
Small, skinny, and petite.
I mean, like I said, everyone has different tastes. That's just not my taste.
Sure.
I'm not very picky on height. she is. I like to say that, but like if you're 5'8", I'm like,
Well, she also gets all the 6'3" guys.
that is true. I do.
Someone's jealous.
I'm like 6'2", 6'3".
What did I just say? They
I
like.
get all-
What did I say? They like the petite ones. But
It's so
am I wrong? Like,
You're like,
So annoying.
that is
I'm-
true.
no, it's
I've
so
asked
true.
guys too, like especially when they're
But
talking
it's-
like,
it's
why do you like
majority.
short girls?
I don't know. I'm not.
She's so mad. She's like, why do you get all the 6'3" guys?
I don't know. It just makes us. It makes us feel good. I don't know. Like it's just something there.
Because I'm 5'7" and she's like, what, 5'2".
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
give me the tall dudes.
You're gonna have.
So-
You're asking for like basketball
Well-
players at that point.
No, I'm not. I say, like,
6'2" is fine.
6'2" is fine. 6'2" is my dad's height. I know that's, like, weird to say, but, like,
No, everybody. No, I think
But also,
girls
like,
end up going for someone that kind of
they
depicts a guy.
do.
No, I mean
it's
it's
so
the same with
weird.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
if you had a healthy relationship with your dad, you're gonna want to mirror that.
No, I definitely
so,
agree.
Because,
that makes
yes, 100%.
That's
Because
super
even,
close.
people want to disagree
yes.
with it, but no.
well,
so-
I even see it, like, from my parents. Like, my mom is, like, saying, like, my dad is literally, like, my grandfather. So it's also, like,
it's a little weird, but
well, just, like, in a sense of, like, personality and, like, how driven they are towards work. And,
Oh, okay.
like, that kind of sense. Not, like,
okay.
literally,
Not
like, looks or anything.
personality,
Like, yes.
drive, and just
Mhm.
all of that.
And, like, what they like.
their
or-
interests.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
So, like,
maybe you have to go for someone that's older then.
that is the plan.
No, I mean, dude, I honestly, I've dated older, and I just think it's I don't know why. I'm
Well,
like, hell yeah, it's like a good
I
attribute.
just
that.
feel like younger is, like, not for me.
yeah.
You're like
I'm
you're
more
already
mature,
kinda
I guess
mature.
you could say. So, like, I
Yeah.
want someone mature, and guys obviously do not mature
At
a-
you don't mature with
as
age.
quickly. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I get
I-
that because my dad's not really mature either. My mom is
But
like,
I think you just got to accept that. I feel like you have to accept the idea of like guys are gonna be idiots like
Yes.
throughout the rest of their lives. That's why women literally live longer because
That's true.
we'll probably burn
But
ourselves.
going, like she said, like the older thing, I just feel like that goes into not necessarily them being more mature, but them just like having their lives together.
them knowing what they want.
And like, yeah, some people just like that stability. I don't really care, at least
I think
this
a lot of
point in
people
my
like
life.
stability.
I don't, like, I feel like she's more of the person to be like, go after someone with like a stable job and like has their life together and knows what they want to do.
That doesn't mean like I don't.
You don't want some spontaneity.
No, that doesn't. No, okay, that doesn't mean like I'm not gonna get a job. I'm not gonna just base
that's not
my.
what I'm
I'm
saying.
just saying I'm not gonna
some,
base like.
some women like that, and that's
Yes.
okay. Like
I'm
you know,
obviously I'm not going to be a stay-at-home mom, like, because that is not my personality. I want to have a job. I want to be able to support myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who I can see that's stable in their life,
Mm-hmm.
that means like that's a good thing because, you know, they know what they're doing. They like their job.
Yes.
So I like that.
yeah. See,
And I'm saying, I don't care. I
Just
understand.
saying, give me the bad boy.
How-
I want that
No,
guy.
how can I expect a stable person when like I'm not in a stable spot? You know what I mean? Like,
So do you feel like once you're stable, then you'll end up attracting a
correct.
stable
Once
person?
I'm in a stable position, I'm gonna want someone who's also in a stable position.
Mm.
But right now, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I'm 22, just living my best life. Like, I don't feel like the pressure to find someone who's like older or anything like that. Or
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going with the flow at this
Yeah,
point.
just going with the flow. That's-
Depends on where you are in your life.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So
Because we're at
two different points.
You feel like
yes,
you
we're at
feel-
two different
how old are
points.
you?
I'm 24.
Do you feel like once you're 24, do you feel like you feel like more like Chelsea? Or you're like, nah.
No, it definitely depends.
She's like, nah, until I'm 28, 29.
It depends on like what I'm
Uh,
doing.
Here we go.
It depends on what I'm doing school wise, and obviously just like where I am because I haven't
Anybody calling
decided.
40? Just kidding. I'm sorry.
I just haven't decided like where, like exactly my path I want to go down.
Yeah.
After I finish my bachelor's program, because I definitely want to extend that. I just haven't decided where yet. So I mean, it just depends on like where I'm at with that. Because if I'm 25 and I'm still going to school, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't expect someone to be 27 or 24 or 25 having like a stable life and me just like piggybacking off of that in that sense because I'm not in a stable position either.
Yeah.
It just depends.
No, and I feel like even this alone, just even talking about it, you kind of like talk about almost all these different aspects that kind of would accumulate to what you really actually want.
Yeah.
You know, and that's honestly that's admirable and healthy to do. I don't feel like a lot of people do it, but it's just cool to kind of like break down relationships, break down like maybe you want to like do a little something different in your life and just kind of like figure it out as you go. You know?
I don't want to like hype us up, but I feel like in the sense of like relationships and just like understanding, I feel like we have a very healthy thing when it comes to that. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Like what's going on right now, or just like in general?
In general, like we go to it with like a very healthy and like mature aspect, not like I'm a 13-year-old like talking to a boy for the first time. You know what I mean? I feel like that didn't make any sense.
If it made sense for you guys,
but
then,
you were like
you were
like explaining it how we just go about it in like a very
a very
we
nonchalant
approach
way.
it in a very
Go ahead, Chelsea.
I think it's like how we are in our life right now. Like she said, we're gonna have differences in what we want in a person and how we are in our life right now. Because like I'm getting my master's, so like I'm more of like I know what I want to do in my life. Like after I graduate, I want to get a job. I want to do this. I want to do that kind of sense.
See, that's rare. Like I feel like a lot of people are not gonna want to or know.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
like
when I
30.
graduated college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my master's. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And so like now, like I'm at a point where I want that stability in a relationship and want to like.
Do you have any cats?
She does. I do not. I'm more of a dog person, but I love cats too. I've had cats. We love Leo. So I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for and where you are in life, and if they treat you right. Like I said, they have to treat you right.
They gotta be fun.
and they're funny.
Yes.
Tara, any last remarks? We're an hour and a half in, so we're almost out.
Why did you ask if she had a cat? I'm curious.
I don't know. Just usually like, hey, just be ready. You're probably gonna be a cat person when you're older.
Oh. I have a cat. He has 3 legs. His name is Leo. He's the love of my life.
Leo? Why Leo?
His full name is Leonardo DiCaprio. But he also only has 3 legs, so I wanted to give him a name with 3 legs. A name with 3 letters, so Leo.
Leo. That's so cute.
Or Leonard on a bad day.
Leonard. Fucking Leonard.
But anywho, literally, I say that way too many. But I don't know, like she said, it just depends on like where you're at in your life, and everyone goes about it differently. So like I could be 24 and be nowhere near where she's at,
right?
Or you could be the 20-year-old billionaire. Clearly, I'm not where she's at. So it doesn't matter like at what age you do what. It's completely irrelevant.
Go on your own time.
Go on your own time. Do it at your own pace. Like time is a made-up construct.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter.
You can change your mind. You can change your mind in a second.
It's
like
healthy to change your mind. It's okay.
Don't just have your mindset on one thing because that could change. Obviously, in today's society, we're in COVID. COVID's happening.
Unprecedented times.
Yes. So obviously things are going to be different, and you can't just have your mindset on one thing because that could happen or it couldn't happen. You have to have.
True.
I guess you could say backups.
I
guess you could say, which is.
Get that backup guy?
Yes, backup plan. I'm not talking about guys. Like a backup plan, because have this and this and no, it just depends on everything. And
Dude, I saw that in a movie. When you said roster, I was like,
Yes.
chink. I knew the exact movie. But keep going. I'm listening.
it's just your mind. Yeah, your mind's gonna change, and that's okay because we're young.
You're allowed to change your mind.
Yeah.
Don't settle in life, basically.
Yes. Do not settle.
Do you feel like marriage is settling? Because I feel like even the idea of marriage is probably going to change in the next.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also just have
10
like a
years.
warped sense of idea when it comes to marriage, because it's like just kind of freaky that you just like sign a paper and you're like meshed together legally. Like, why?
You stay together for the
I
rest
don't
of your
understand
life?
that. Like, you could stay together without the legalness.
Yeah.
That just kind of freaks me out in that sense.
Yeah, but when it comes to kids, I think that's but
But this is
What was
coming.
that
This is
sound?
coming from 2 different perspectives on marriage. So, but I agree.
I guess we just got revitalized.
I
Okay,
guess the thought-
like
no, we can definitely like.
no,
we
we
don't
can
have to
we
go
can
into
talk.
it.
Yeah, no, we can.
The thought of, like you said, I think the idea of marriage is definitely going to change over time. But also, I mean, if you compare it to like the last 50 years, the current rate of divorce is 50%.
I agree with
in
that.
marriages,
Yes,
which is
it's
crazy.
Like, it's already over 50.
But it
Which-
also goes back to the settling, because I feel like people settle in their relationship and then down the road
They change their mind.
Change their mind.
Well, shotgun marriages were a thing, and that idea I think also was the thing with war, where they just kind of was like hey, I met you the first day, let's get married 3 days
Or
later.
if
I
you
feel
get
like that
pregnant.
still is
Or-
the thing, is that
Get
like people in the
pregnant.
military are like, oh my gosh, let's get married.
But see, that's the thing. There was a lot more. There was
No,
a lot
no,
more
I agree
back
completely.
then. Yeah, and so like now,
the idea of marriage has definitely changed over time.
yeah, or just they don't last after 5 years. Like
Yeah.
that's also another kind of.
And I
True.
think that just it all goes back into like social media and just everything. It
So
affects
it
everything.
is so social. I feel like without social media, I feel like a lot more things would have been better. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because there's more
You're comparing
options to that, and there's just more outlets to like not do something
True.
wrong. But how are you going to contact Lindsay from your office before? You were going to email her. Now you're going to follow Lindsay on Instagram. You're going to like all of her photos, and you're going to
Yeah,
DM her.
Lindsay. Gosh.
Geez, Lindsay, don't be a homewrecker. But you know what I mean? Like, there's
No.
just more options, there's more outlets, but there's also more comparison.
Yeah, I mean, we even in the smallest sense, if y'all have ever been on like on a double date and then like they try to like one up each other.
I don't feel like the guys would go to double date
Oh
would handle
no,
that. It would be
they
a
they
disaster.
could not handle both of us. It would be a
Sorry,
whew.
guys.
They'd be like,
I feel like-
"We need to date,"
yes.
and they would just be, like,
Yes,
sitting there.
we would just be talking amongst ourselves, and they would be like, "What the fuck's going on over there?" Like we would just be talking about I don't know,
What's your
random
name,
stuff.
man?
They would become best friends.
They would, exactly.
So, I mean, like she said, I do have a different perspective on marriage.
What do you think? I think it's.
I don't think
it's also the
it's-
upbringing.
Yes.
If that makes sense,
Yes, because my parents have been married 30 years.
that's something. I would
So-
ask you also, but she hasn't like.
Not to like shame my dad. He's doing great. But he has not had stable marriages. So I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
We definitely have two different perspectives because she grew up with a mom
A little
and a
bit
dad
more
who
stable.
were together
Yeah,
her
yeah.
entire life. Mine were not. So I've had a very different view than she has.
Okay.
I mean, not saying that their relationship is perfect.
No, yeah,
obviously.
like-
It's- yes.
No,
So
relationship is-
there is a lot of conflict, but overall, they're happy
Mm-hmm.
and
Healthy.
it's healthy. Yes, and
So this is why
they
your
were
answer
very
is different.
yes, and they were very focused on what our lives were like growing up and making sure they did right by us.
Everything
Yes.
right by you.
And so with that, I don't think marriage is settling. I mean, I'm not saying like I have had cousins and family members that have been divorced.
Yeah.
So I have seen that and I know how hard it is.
Super.
And people can change.
But I think that goes back into they got married 30 years ago.
That is true. Yes.
People getting married 5 years ago are no longer together because
Mm-hmm.
the idea and contract of marriage has changed.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can see that point of view.
Yeah.
It
And
is- keep going.
and just in now, like with my age, a lot of my friends are getting engaged and getting
Have
married and
kids
having
or-
kids.
yeah, and
So you're just like,
And
we're just like, fuck this. It's,
you're like, and she's like,
I'm like, it's
am I
time.
laughing? It's time, you know.
It's time because I don't know, because my roommate from college, we were roommates all 4 years, which is like very rare in itself. Just to be roommates every year of college. She is getting married in April, and her now fiance have been dating for like 7 years. So like, I guess having that also in my life is like, fuck, like this relationship. Yeah, this relationship, like it can happen.
I'm so glad you have someone like Terah here just kind of tell you like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's obviously.
It's okay. I'm like the little angel and the devil on the shoulder.
You're
Yes.
literally both.
Yes, she's literally both. Yes.
Okay, so let me, and I mean, this is also, it kind of like brought up another question, but do you feel like it's the idea that you guys are going off of a time limit because, let's just say, yeah, I think everybody wants kids.
Yes.
Wrong?
I would not say that, no.
Okay. Oh,
I'm not saying I don't want kids, but
you
I'm
want the
not,
option.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so-
definitely like not a necessity.
There you go.
I don't believe every woman wants children.
Do you understand where I'm going?
Yeah.
Do you all think that it's that you guys are trying to figure out all this because your body isn't going to be
Yeah, I mean, you don't
capable?
want to be. I personally don't want to be 40 and like having a newborn baby. Like I'm trying to be like a hot mom. You know what I'm saying?
I know what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know. I definitely agree with like where you're coming from because
I'm just trying to see if that's true or
I
if
think
it
it's
is.
true.
like-
I definitely think it's
100%
true.
true, yes.
Because I mean, obviously, just like as your body gets older, it can't handle as much. So you don't want to,
You know,
it
like-
does make a difference.
Right.
But I think that is definitely a pressure. Is that you want to have, at least for me personally, I want to have a stable life and relationship before I have a child.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like have all those years in advance to even like put yourself in that position.
Right.
So yeah, now you're stressing me out. Now I'm thinking about it.
But I feel like also in today's society,
You're
people
welcome.
are not doing it in that perspective. They're not going marriage, kids, whatever.
Which
they're
is not a requirement.
Which is not a
There's no
requirement. Not at
requirement
all.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it
no.
it depends on the person. We
It's
get
what
back
I
to the
would like
person.
to do.
Yes.
I just it goes back to like your idea of like society's like sexist. Kind of like agree with. I mean, not kind of like saying it's all of it, but yesterday or 3 days ago, I had someone on the podcast that said he wants to get his tubes tied, but the idea that he can do it, not saying that like just because he's a guy he can do it, and like it's just easier for a guy to go back and forth if he wanted to, but he wants to adopt and do all that stuff, and I just feel like
Well, I want to adopt too.
Yeah, I would love to adopt, but to go off
the option, I think that's
yeah.
just what
So
I'm saying.
as a woman, if you decide not to have kids, because I know somebody who's very strict, does not want to have kids, does not like kids, wants to get whatever done, a hysterectomy.
Yeah, I don't know the fucking terminology.
You have to.
I'm not. She's the medical one here.
Most
I don't know.
doctors, for them to even do it, you have to be at least 25. You either have to be married, you have to have your husband's permission, you have to have already had kids.
Or you have to have some physical, like
something
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Your
so
body.
they won't just let you do it. Like you have to like jump through hoops, and it's literally your body. Like they don't let you do it. Like it's very rare to find a doctor who'll just be like, okay, because they're like, what if you change your mind? Like you're gonna regret this, blah blah blah. But to even like have to like have a man's permission to do it, absolutely not. It's just it's way harder for girls to do it than for guys to do it.
No, and this is why I'm bringing it up. Like, I didn't know if that was an idea. Maybe I just the reason I bring it up is just because I don't feel like social media would end up. People don't talk about this stuff.
No,
like,
they don't.
and that's
No,
why
They don't talk about real life.
no. That's why I like this podcast because it's fucking awesome. But what were you gonna say, Chelsea?
I mean, same thing she goes off of. Like, it just depends on, like, obviously it's going to be harder for women to do certain things in today's society.
It's okay for guys not to want kids. It's not okay for women not to want kids.
At the end
I
of
feel
the
like
day,
you're more pressured to have
Yes.
kids
You're
because
expected.
that's what
well,
I wouldn't
no,
say that's
but-
like your main thing in life is to like
But I
have
also
kids.
think would it be like the upbringing, because I feel like because your parents successfully did it, you
Yes.
feel like you could do it, and I think that's also like the idea of like of why your answer is probably different. Maybe could be wrong.
Yeah.
Fucking wrong.
No. I mean, I've always wanted to have kids like growing up.
Uh huh.
And my mindset is like I want to have two of my own and adopt one. So I already have the kids'
Same
names.
sex marriage is already a thing, guys.
I mean, I already have the kids' names picked out. It's fine. It's fine. But that's just like a woman's point of view. Like we're gonna like think about these certain things, and a guy's not really going to. Like if you get married and they're like, oh, I want to have kids, and like, yeah.
That's something we were talking about before.
Yes, obviously, yes. 100% yes.
Well, that's
But-
like an indicator. Like, oh, this isn't gonna work out, man.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, because if you want kids and they don't want kids, like, that's not going to work.
No.
True.
Immediate.
Yeah, no.
Immediate no.
Yes. It just, you can obviously have different opinions and like perspective on life.
Right.
But in that sense, I feel like
You
you
can't force
can't,
someone to have a child who
yes,
doesn't want a child.
you need to like have the same, because obviously you're not, like she said, force somebody to have a kid with you. Like that's not just going to just work. But it's just different perspective on how you grew up and what you want in life as well.
Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is the idea. What do you think success is? Like at the end of the day, anybody that comes on here are kind of like seen as very inspirational people. When y'all start y'all's podcast, who knows? You inspire other women to kind of like speak out or do something. I don't know, but the ideas of success are always going to be different, and that's what I like. Terah, we can start with you. What is your idea of success? If someone's looking at like probably some other girl or guy is gonna look at you and like, wow, that actually like I like this girl, man. Shit.
This is going to sound so dumb.
So cheesy and cliche.
It
Just
is.
get ready, guys.
But like happiness, you know? Like I could have $3 in my bank account, but I could have like the best friends. Like I could be living my best life. I could be so happy.
Right.
It just like based on that. Like currently right now, like I just lost my job at Disney. I don't know where I'm going with my life. Like it's very unstable, but I'm not.
You know you're not alone. Also.
Yeah,
That's
like I'm
that's
still
another thing.
genuinely happy. Like I'm in a
Right.
really good spot mentally.
Right.
Like I'm just happy, and to me that would be successful. Like I'm actively pursuing my dreams, like with school still. Like I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm not like stressed constantly. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would just measure it in like happiness.
No, yeah.
Like at the end of the day, if you're not happy, then like what's the point? Who
Exactly.
cares if you're literally a millionaire?
Yeah. Literally, everything you're saying is literally the reason why I asked, is because everybody has a different perspective. That one thing that you just said right there can be like, shit, yeah, fuck yeah. Like,
Just like be happy with what you're doing, and if you're not happy, then you need to change
go
something.
change it. Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah. Chelsey, up to you. No pressure.
I mean, I definitely agree on her. The happiness is like definitely like number one thing, because obviously like money can
Is it the
come.
same for you or is it different?
It's the same, I would say. Like money can come and go. Like obviously, I want a stable job, but like I'm not gonna look out for a job that's gonna give me $100,000 in my first year, kind of thing. Like you're obviously gonna have to like build on top of that, and like you can't just be like go into it.
Right.
Like you're gonna have to start off somewhere.
Somewhere. Some
Yeah,
small and like,
yeah,
build
and
yourself up.
Your materialistic things can come and go. Like
True.
it's not going to give you happiness if you have this certain thing or that certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, the family and friends that surround you are what's going to make your life whole and going to make you
that's really good. No,
happy.
yeah, no, that's really good.
Like, I guess you could say like my upbringing and all of that, like just having that constant form of support. And then this is so cheesy, but like in my life today, have the best of friends. Wow, this fucking hurts. Like I'm about to start crying because it's just
tears on the first time on this podcast.
no,
Not for
it's
me.
just like
Especially just everything going on with Disney. Right
yeah.
now.
So like coming to Disney, it definitely brought me the best people in my
Right.
life.
No.
I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, but
It's good for my audience. You can do it. Just bring the waterworks.
yeah, no, because it's hard, especially with. I mean, everyone's going through the same thing right now.
Yeah.
So like obviously having people that are surrounding you that are going to be there for you, support you,
Right.
like understand what you're going through is like the best thing.
Yeah.
Because then you can forget about it.
Right.
You can have the best time of your life
100%.
and just do everything to the fullest, because that's what I want to do. Like I don't want to try to like focus on one certain thing. I want to be able to like live in the moment.
Just like full send.
Yeah,
always.
just do something that's going to make you happy. Be with the people who are going to make you happy. If someone's not going to make you happy, then you don't need them in your life.
Yeah, cut them out.
You don't want to be stressed over one person or multiple people. Like if they're not giving you the time of day, then just
Goodbye.
bye, not going to happen. So like she said, I definitely think happiness is like the number one key in life, and just that's success.
Wow. That was inspirational words. I had a little violin right here. I feel like you have some last remarks. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I just like completely agree with everything she's saying. Just like especially at Disney, I didn't like feel like I truly like met my people until I did my first college program. And I think that's why like just being in Florida resonated with me so much, because it truly felt like home to me.
And I feel like those friendships have gotten stronger because you've seen the loss and experienced the loss, and it's like because of that, the people that are here, like they're there for that specific reason, like to kind of like help you. And we've seen so many people just get up and go because they can't they can't support it. And that's
just like knowing at the end of the day that like, especially right now, like we're going through the same thing. And that like we'll both constantly, because I've always had like
bounce
roommate
off
issues
each
in the
other and
past,
stuff
but,
like that.
Knowing I have someone who I can go to at the end of the day, just there for me is just like really, especially during these times, it's very important.
If you did have any roommate problems, I don't think I'd do anymore.
We could do counseling for that. We could counsel people on roommate issues.
not saying like
Literally the podcast, I'm telling you,
no,
this is
I'm
what I'm
just
saying. Like, y'all
not
could,
saying everything is perfect.
Not saying everything's perfect. We have
It's
different
not.
views on everything.
But I don't think we fought one time. And it's been like 7 months.
I think we just
Chelsea's
have
like, I think we have fought.
we just have little spats, like little like vocal things here and there. Like,
But it's
we're
never
not
been,
gonna
like, a full-blown
agree-
fight.
We're not going to agree on certain things.
Yeah, and that's okay.
So obviously that's going to be a thing, but we haven't like literally like
had issues,
like
really.
cussed each other out and like
Yeah.
slammed the door or like left in a sense, or like
Yeah.
I'm fucking kicking you out kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know?
We'll just send each other like TikToks and laugh about it. That's about it.
Y'all like balance each other out. It's so funny just to watch too.
No,
It's
I
just,
definitely
like,
agree
up
with
there.
that. I feel like we definitely balance each other out. For sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, we hit an hour and 45 minutes.
we
Yeah,
talk
you
a
can
lot.
talk. You
Yes,
can
we
no.
talk
This is how I like. Literally, the podcast could go anywhere. This is why I fucking like talking about this stuff. Well, guys, this is going to conclude another episode of The Slice of Life. Like I said, we have Terah and Chelsey here. Terah, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you? Let's include also those dating apps. I'm just kidding. You don't
Absolutely
have to.
not anymore.
I'm sorry, guys. I try to help you guys out, but
Instagram.
Instagram.
I don't even know my Instagram.
I mean, I know mine.
All right. Well, Chelsey, we'll start you off.
Mine's just Chelsey Hammond. Oh my God.
And she wonders why I don't throw parties here.
Mine is just my name, Chelsey Hammonds. So that's Instagram. Obviously the same thing on Facebook. Twitter, I don't really go on.
I don't really. I say I don't have it, but I
don't
have
really remember my Twitter name, but Instagram is like my main source of social media. So.
There you go. That's where you can find Chelsey and Terah.
My Instagram is also my name. It's just Terah Tapin. It's my name.
Awesome.
I do use Twitter.
She's like, hold on.
It is Terah.
Terah.
Yeah, I love Twitter.
Okay.
And then
Well,
you don't
for-
need to contact me on Facebook because I don't use that.
For those people, I'll have the link down below for all of y'all that do want to go and say hi to these nice ladies. But once again, gals, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was actually like a very fun podcast.
Thank you.
But well, guys, we're gonna cut it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe. We do have a new episode up. It's I think episode 31. This is y'all's episode is gonna be like 34. So I think
Nice.
yeah. So just check it out, guys, and we're gonna call it here. Just wave at the camera and just say bye.